brothers cannot hear you, Spawn of Hades, but I can. And I have for you a proposition. Assist with a quandary of mine, and benefit. Your response?
Almighty Chaos. I'm honored to make your acquaintance. What sort of quandary would concern the origin of all existence? And how do I fit in?
Time shall tell. But at present I have inferred that your response, in essence, was affirmative. Thus may our newly formed arrangement prove most interesting. Accept my mark and go, and later I shall open the abyss for you again. When I created life, I had my doubts. Would it invite more problems than it solved? I would be curious to see. Thus my experiment continues to unfold, its outcome yet uncertain.
Almighty Chaos, with your experiment so vast in scope, what can one individual achieve? The quandary you mentioned when first we met. What would you have me do?
Spawn of Hades, I ought to clarify I do not care for idle talk. Ask me no questions. Respond only when prompted, or when necessary in the absolute. But above all, do as you will. I once created a similar arrangement with a different Spawn of Hades. He was an interesting subject. The interval since last we met grows ever longer now. Do you know his status? Respond.
You mean my brother Zagreus? Chronos took him, along with my parents and their closest associates. They're in the lowest reaches of the underworld, where I am headed now.
I see. Time appears to be the source of many problems recently. As for your brother, I found him to be quite amusing. How interesting that offspring can be so dissimilar. Does there remain a place for beauty and for objects of desire in a world such as this? The goddess Aphrodite must think so, and you work now as allies. I believe it a worthwhile cause. This world was born of a certain desire after all. You have been visited by Lord Poseidon. The waters that he claims are his. They were among the first of my creations, and turned out rather well, I think. I wonder if he comprehends the extent of the power they conceal.
Me?
The fate's designs for us perhaps are intertwined, for we each seek our close kin. I have lost contact with my spawn and daughter Nyx, who resided in your father's house. Her influence remains, yet I feel her absence.
No such sweetness as this nectar is never to be taken for granted, Almighty Chaos. Please, it's yours. Wondrous creations such as this are only possible because of you.
Such gestures are unnecessary to the arrangement between us. If this is an act of supplication, then simply speak your mind, although I sense no deeper motive presently. Being Spawn of Hades. However, even I can be provoked, as Chronos soon shall come to realize. Our experiment concerns his fate. If he believes that he can change his fate, then so may we. I shall hold Chronos to account for what has come to pass, but I am not without blame myself, for I fear that I made present matters worse. We shall see whether any such mistakes can be corrected. Your usage of the pitch-black standing stone enables me to temporarily emerge from my abyss, and I thank you for that. I can observe more clearly both the outcome of your trial and all else.
Almighty Chaos, I wish to exercise my freedom here by giving you this. Though I suppose you probably could have made it yourself.
This nectar that you offer me is quite an interesting substance. When I created the fabric of reality, I had a sense of the ways in which it could be used, but I did not necessarily anticipate all possible results, including this one. The weavings of the fates are said to bind both mortals and immortals alike. The course and outcome of all lives all preordained. Thus the sense of choice is merely an illusion. Do you believe this, Spawn of Hades? Respond.
I think the fates determine much about our lives. When and where we are born, for instance, and to whom. But I don't think they set every detail. And I know they're not leaving at all right now, because Chronos has them.
I see. For the most part, I concur with your assessment. I am the reason Chronos has them now. He asked me where to find them, and I decided to tell him. To verify such choices could be made without their influence. Now do you understand my quandary? Respond.
Oh no. Almighty Chaos, you were deceived. Chronos wished to find the Fates for his own gain. They were one of the only forces in this world powerful enough to stop him.
Yet they are not so powerful as they appeared. Nevertheless, I think you are correct. Chronos indicated his intentions were benign. I am unfamiliar with deceit and was misled. I remain quite displeased about this still.
The ancient and obscure originator of creation yet remains, observing from within such black impenetrable depths the endless toil of the living and the dead.
Recent moment when time briefly ceased to be, and I alone could tell. I believe this coincided with your confrontation with Chronos. Now you return to me, attempting to repeat the same outcome. Interesting.
Sense my motive in giving you this. Sometimes we simply feel an impulse to express our admiration. Knowing how important your whims are to you, surely you understand.
Europeans often demand tribute from their worshippers, do they not? Their custom perhaps, but not mine. I merely ask that you honor our arrangement in perpetuity, but neither shall I reject your offering. You have restored the standing stone where you reside, and now can see the possibilities within. Should you assist me in exploring my ability to determine outcomes like the fates themselves, I shall make it worth your while.
Heartening to know that the origin of all existence also is the source of such limitless curiosity. Here's to finding great interest even in the simplest of things.
Substances such as this nectar, is it not interesting how they can be made, but not unmade? Everything in essence is itself. What your offering to me is truly unique in its own right, and I thank you for it. All throughout the underworld, but now, Chronos works to reshape the realm to suit his preferences. However, there shall always be darkness here in this space, and I have made it visible to you.
Strange journey your creations take, Almighty Chaos. This particular bottle, for instance, formed after untold eons, only to find its way back to you, inevitably or not.
I still possess some of the nectar that your brother once gave to me when he was dealing with a certain quandary of his. I think that I shall keep this offering close by to that. You follow in his path. It seemed to choose your own way. I gave to you. It creates an impression as though a part of me is with you, even whilst you are absent from this space. You may continue to make use of it or not.